Hi, everyone. It's still a couple minutes till 2. I said we'd start a couple minutes early just to make sure we have a good connection. So if you can hear me and you know how to use the emojis, would you give me a thumbs up and let me know that we have an auditory connection as well as a visual one? Parkside, thank you for checking in with us and letting me know you can hear me. Good job. Thank you. We do have a 1 second delay on this so that it won't scroll too fast, but I didn't want to limit it further than that. Thumbs up from Melinda. Thank you. Monica, thank you. Good. Okay. We won't have to do one of those emergency take twos today. I love it. Hi, Jan from the UK. Hi, Piera. Hi, Ricky again. Nadia, Tess. My moderators today, as usual, are Tess and Julie, and they will be watching the chat while the meditation goes on. Usually, we don't have to do a lot of housekeeping, but keep things positive, please, so that they can participate without having to moderate. I would really appreciate that. So, Pumpkin Spice Princess is here, and Melinda, Gia, Carolina, Ed Boo. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. I feel like this is probably one of the more important topics that we're going to focus on with this meditation today, because we're learning that our meditations do matter. They do have an effect on the universe, possibly even on the collective consciousness of humanity, and they're definitely, definitely worth doing. So the focus, as I said, in my previews and in the notice, was that we're going to be looking at election integrity, not with necessarily a specific idea of how that should look. And I'll talk about that as we get going. But I know that there are very few countries in the world that feel like they have election integrity, that they feel like they're getting told who was selected, and it's only a charade that we go through with the balloting process. And that needs to change. We need to have people that are in leadership positions that were actually chosen by the will of the people that voted for them. And that needs to change. It needs to publicly and permanently change. And I think it will. But we're going to see if we can speed that process up a little bit with our focus and intention today. Okay, it's 2 o'clock. I want to thank everybody for being here. According to what I can see, I wish this showed up later. Right now, there are 94 people viewing this video. And that's not thousands, but it doesn't need to be. The information that I've heard is that when 20 people are joined in common purpose, it's enough to change reality in a beautiful way, especially when it's a positive purpose. So we have more than enough here, even if a few of those 94, now 104 people are simply just watching, out of curiosity, or, don't want to participate actively, which is fine. I know out of that number, we have at least 20 that are going to be positively focused, and we're going to be on the same page, even if we're not on quite the same line. And that's okay. We are part members of a free will universe, and we always try to honor that with what we do and say here in the meditations. This meditation should take less than 30 minutes from start to finish. I try not to go too long. I don't want you falling asleep on me, although I have heard some people do. That's okay. I'm glad I have that kind of voice, okay, that makes you feel that peaceful and calm. That's great, because you can go back and finish it later. We have learned the power of knowing that time is just an imaginary concept, that we can, with intention, send our energy back to a starting point that we want it to be delivered at. And people are doing that. And that's why if you ever watch some of my older videos, you'll notice a different kind of feel to them each time as more people add their positive energy to the focus. And that's really, really great. Now, you're going to notice that I don't do these as you might envision if you're new to my meditations. Meditation as happening. There's no lotus position. We're just simply going to talk our way through it, because meditations, the way I lead them, they're just simply focused thought. So you are allowed to sit however you meditate best. If that's lotus position on the floor, go for it. Okay. For me, I'm more comfortable sitting, and I think most of the participants are. But again, some people stretch out on the floor so that their backs are as straight as possible and their chakras are aligned. Whatever works for you works for me. Okay. I'm really glad you're here, and I think this is important. Let's get to it. Now, the first and most important thing, let's talk about protection. Because one of the pitfalls of having a large group meditation, and one of the cautions about it in the past, has been that people with really good intentions have meditated and their energy has been hijacked and transmuted and used for other purposes. So the first part of we do a lot of prep for the focus. Okay. So let's do that prep now. We are going to, by the way, let me back up a little bit and just reaffirm that this is a non-denominational meditation. Any positive and peaceful faith walk or spirit walk is welcome here. Absolutely. I want to honor the fact that some people have a specific faith walk, and that's okay too. Okay. If mine tends to color how I phrase things, I apologize. I'm not trying to impose it on you. It's just that my way of speaking. Okay. So I'm personally going to be asking for protections from our loving creator, the creator of all creators. Okay. Now, if that's not your purpose, then you can, and you're participating, not your purpose, then you can, and you're participating, you can ask for help from whatever peaceful and positive purpose you most align with. Okay. If it's Buddha, if it's whoever, I don't care. Okay. If it's just simply, the loving consciousness, the galactic, whatever, go for it. But I want our energy to be protected now, in the past, in the future, forever. The energy we are donating with loving hearts and positive thoughts today is never going to have any consent to be transmuted, changed, hijacked, used for other purposes. So our purpose, our intention, our energy is never going to be diverted in any way. Past, present, future, even sideways. Okay. So we want our energy protected. Now, that same energy that we are donating, I am asking whoever I ask and whoever you ask, that we become conduits, and we don't get depleted in the process of this meditation. That the energy we donate and give out and send out is refilled in us even more abundantly than we've sent it out. Okay. And with practice, you can get to where you can do something like, say, without fear or anxiety, you can for the entire plane of existence, you can say, like I do, if you're willing to accept it, I send you love, light, and wish for you everything bright, because I do that as a conduit. So I'm not depleting myself or making myself vulnerable in that process. So we want protections for ourselves and our energy. Now, I had some information last month from a source I very much trust, that said that they felt that there was some attempts for negative energy to interfere with our proceedings after we had sent any negative intentions to be purified and repurposed. So we're going to expand that today. And I want to say that we are going to visualize more attention. We also don't want too much contact with it. We're going to picture it being diverted back to our loving creator to be purified and repurposed. Now, we want that to be not only what's present as we say this, but what might try to sneak in during or even after, because we're not the only ones that are aware that time is a false construct. So we're going to picture our intentions, our energy, our time here as like being a beautiful, beautiful glittering capsule that's maybe a hard gemstone on the outside white, and we're traveling through the cosmos, through time. And if anything from any direction at any time tries to interfere with the path of our intentions and our focus, it will just be useless, absolutely useless. It will be instantly diverted to our loving creator to be purified and repurposed. So we've got our intentions very, very safe. We have our energy very, very safe and protected today, because our focuses and our meditations are gaining a little more attention, we want to also extend that level of love and light and safety to those we love and care about. So if there is any effort on the part of those who engage in negative or evil acts to derail our purpose, our thoughts, our focus through those we care about, we want those people to be very, very safe, very, very safe and joyful and happy. And just picture them skipping around like they do on that Ten of Pentacles card. Okay. And so we want people to be very, very safe, those we love and care for. Okay. So we have got our protections in place for our purpose, for ourselves, for those we love and care about. Now let's talk about our intentions. We've touched on that a little bit by saying that we want to be refilled with our personal resources of love and light, fill even faster than we send them out. Okay. And we also intend that the energy of love and light that we give in this meditation is bestowed in equal measure on those of us who give it and those we care about. So we feel the love of whoever we worship. And we know our meditations will have a positive impact on this world, this plane of existence. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about our personal readiness now. Like I said earlier, you should be sitting or seated comfortably or stretched out, however you most like to meditate. And we're going to quickly kind of make sure we're kind of prepared for that. So one of the things is we have our chakras that follow a straight line in our body, and we want to have those as open to energy transmission and reception as possible. So take a second and make sure you're sitting up straight as possible and you've got those chakras aligned as straight as you can. Okay. And if for some reason that's not quite possible, don't worry about it. We have a loving creator that made it all. He can work with a little curvature. No problem. Okay, now we're going to do a stress test, and I'm going to do a second one this month because I've learned a very quick technique that really, really works. Okay, so one of the things is check your shoulders. As we get tense, our shoulders come up, they hunch up, okay? And you can make them go up as high as you want, but let's have them go down. I know when I was in the education field and there was test day, I'd go around behind the kids that were taking the test and just put my hands gently on their shoulders and push down. And you could just feel them relax. So feel that happening for yourself. Push those shoulders down a little bit, just a little bit. Okay. If there was any tenseness in your body, you should feel it starting to release. Now, here's the other technique that's new that really does help with stress. I don't know what the name of it would be. I'm sure people will enlighten me in it, but it's simply what I call a two-step breath. Okay. So it's almost like, those hiccups you get after you've been crying really hard. You're going to do 2 breaths in and then out. And that actually lets stress out. This isn't our 3 breaths for cleansing. This is our double tap for stress release. So bear with me and let's give this a try, and you can let me know in the comments if it worked for you. Okay, it's going to be a 2 steps in, hold, and out. Okay, ready? And then take your time on the exhale. And then I check my shoulders, they're down. I want one more double tap breath. Okay, ready? Hold and out. So if you're stressed after a long, hard day, I don't know if she'll show up in camera, but we have a kitty visiting, so I'm going to turn my keyboard up so she doesn't start typing and hurt our connection. Aliesk is the one that's joining us right now. Okay, so if you have a hard day and you don't have a lot of time to get that relaxation going, or you're in the middle of a commute in heavy traffic, try that shoulder check and then the double tap breath now and see if that doesn't help a lot. Then when you get home, you can recreate however you recreate. Okay. Now let's do our cleansing breath, because we want to be, as I said, conduits of some loving, positive energy. And we want to be as ready for that as possible. So that involves kind of getting ourselves cleansed of any negativity that might have been in us, on us, sent to us, attached to us, around us. There's myriad ways that negativity can kind of be in our sphere of influence, okay? So if there's any that's in us, on us, attached to us, or being sent directed to us, okay, we're going to take a second and we're going to picture all of that. I personally picture it one of two ways. Either a dandelion that looks a little gray instead of white and beige, and I blow that negativity to source into just a beautiful light where it sparkles as it goes in. Okay. I love glitter. What can I say? So we pictured that going to be purified and renewed and just not a concern for us anymore. Okay. A much higher power is dealing with it. Or sometimes I think of it as a gift box that we just picture a bunch of things going in, put the top on. It's got beautiful little packaging, like one of those fancy schmancy gift wrap boxes, and it just send it on to our loving creator, however you want to do it. Okay, but we're going to take those 3 breaths in and out. As they come out, picture that energy just leaving us, but what's coming in is the purest, cleanest, most sparkling, beautiful air our lungs have ever encountered. Okay, and I hope you feel that way, that there's no negative smells in your environment to kind of interfere with that visualization, but it can happen. Okay, all right, so let's do those 3 breaths. The first one in, when you exhale, you're going to have a little bit of that discoloration because it's the last of that residual negativity coming out. By the second breath, you may be able to visual it as clear and sparkling going in as out, and by the third, you will. If that's your intention, that will be the reaction. Okay, first breath in. Hold and out. Mine was a dandelion. Okay, then we're going to do our second breath. Okay, it should be almost as clear coming out as it is going in, but oh, it feels so good going in. Ready? In and out. And our third breath. Shoulders down, feeling relaxed and good. Third breath, sparkle in and sparkle out. Ready? Okay, officially, we've done all our prep. We're going to spend the next few minutes on our intention. So if this is your first meditation with me, this is officially the start, but it had to be preceded by those protections and stating our intention so that we were very clear of what our purpose was and how much we want that purpose to be protected forever. Okay. We're going to be thinking and focusing on election integrity. We have people participating, I already know, from more than one country. So you're going to be thinking about the election process. You might want to have a global focus if you're able to. That's great. It may be specific for your country or your region. I know just in this coming week, I think it's New Brunswick has some elections going on, and early voting is happening here in the United States. And there's lots of balloting opportunities across the planet. Now, unfortunately, it's been decades in most places since there's been a true accounting of the will of the people in the voting process. So we're going to visualize election integrity happening. I want to keep my visualization very broad because I realize as part of plans that are unfolding, we may need to have the perception of voting shenanigans happening again. What I want is the result of voting integrity to be the status I live with, not for 4 more years before it happens again, but immediately as soon as any precursors that have been needed have been met. So I'm not going to get discouraged if it seems like there is balloting shenanigans. My intention is going to be for voting integrity, that election integrity, that it's going to resolve, and the true nature of the legal ballots that were cast are going to be counted and used and utilized to select our leadership and representation going forward without significant delay. I hope that makes sense to you. So again, we don't want to get discouraged. We know that in many cases, in many countries, there's shenanigans. They may seem to play out again, but we're going to picture election integrity stepping in and resolving those in beautiful ways so that we have the representation that was truly desired by the majority of the legal balloting participants in each country or region. Okay? Now, if you're creative and you want to visualize a little closer, I have fun with this one. What if the millions of illegal voters who are being besieged and even encouraged or paid to cast ballots for one party get a spirit of rebellion, and just for the heck of it, because no one will know, they vote for the other? I love the thought of that. Okay. So, however, our loving creator wants to have election integrity play out on this plane of existence, not just for this country, but for every country. We're going to ask for election integrity in the best possible outcome fashion that can be had. So, if you had your little snarky vision like me with the voting together, just because they can, however you have envisioned it, maybe someone getting caught red-handed with a box of illegal ballots or a suitcase of them, or suitcases of them, or vans of them, and being stopped. So we're going to be asking too that those that are trying to have election integrity occur, that they have success beyond their wildest dreams in that endeavor, in stopping and halting and interfering with the interference. And further picturing that those that are attempting this, that know that they are trying to impose their desires beyond their right to cast one vote, that their shenanigans, their hijinks, their nefarious acts fizzle, falter, and fail in significant and measurable ways wherever they occur. So just an avalanche of failure for those trying to remove our will and our right to say who and what we want to be our leadership, our representation. Okay, so take a second. I'm going to count to 10 up. While I'm doing it, if you want to close your eyes, if you'd like to keep your eyes open, that's fine. But I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to picture 2 or 3 of those scenarios that I described, okay, over the course of counting to 10, and just picture them. So be it, so be it, so be it. You know, abundantly, so be it. Amazingly, blindingly, brilliantly, so be it. That those things are going to happen. That the efforts of those who are trying to ensure or affect election integrity are so successful, wildly successful. And by for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For every attempt to bypass the correct and legal manner of voting and casting your ballot, they fail miserably, horribly, publicly. Failure. Okay. So I'm going to count to 10 up and then back down as we picture those things. So have a little fun with it, but you don't want to lock into a specific vision. So overarching all of that, best possible outcome for election integrity for this plane of existence. Okay. 10 in, 10 out. Ready? Picturing it. Have fun with it, guys. Have fun with it. Picture someone getting caught with a suitcase in their hands that's full of ballots, or a box, or a van, or a busload of voters trying to show up at a time that they were told they could cast illegal ballots and getting caught. Whatever it might be. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then now, let's be general so that the universe can be beautifully responsive and just say best possible outcome for voting or election integrity. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I hope you're good at visualizing and that was fun for you. I think we've covered our main focus topic. Now it is, according to my computer here, 2:21. So we have a few minutes left. And if you would like to take the few minutes before I end our meditation to expand on a specific positive need or focus that you would like some energy donated to, be sure to put it in the comments, okay? We will read those later. It does take a little while for the live chat replay to be on the video, but we will be looking at that. And many of us watch these videos more than once and just keep sending that energy back to the intention so that it gets more and more powerful over the course of us doing that. Okay, so positive focuses or things you'd like. And then again, since we are a free will universe, there are people that will read your request or your need and choose not to participate. I hope everybody's pure enough of heart that they wouldn't interfere with it. Okay, but if someone expresses a need and it tugs at your heart and you want to contribute some energy to it, please do so. Okay. By the way, I know of a need, and I'm not going to say who or even exactly where, but got a beautiful email with pictures from someone who is still flooded out of a very small and humble home that they had as a result of Helene. And I know this is not an isolated incident. And I will say it was a she that wrote me. And she said, I don't even know what I'm asking for. She didn't ask for money. She didn't ask for that kind of help. She just wanted an awareness to be out there, that there are still some very stark and real housing needs and living conditions. And bless her heart, her significant other is wading through hip deep water twice a day to take a neighbor's dog to dry land so they can, because they refuse to go in the house, so that the dog can, so they're already with nothing. They're giving back and helping their neighbors. So it's a positive need, I know, that is still ongoing in these devastated areas that were hit very deliberately by greedy, I guess greed, yeah, just greed. Okay, I can't imagine hating people that much or loving money that much, but there we have it. We know that's 3D stuff that they're going to have to do a lot of changing to move up. So picture people in that situation, getting some resolution, getting some aid and assistance, getting some dry land around their homes. Okay. And then ultimately for justice. Okay. And again, on that one, I don't ever get too specific. I just ask for the best possible outcome. And sometimes the justice happens over the course of lifetimes. And hey, I'm not in charge of it and I don't want to be. It's fine with me. Okay, I've noticed as I've been talking to you that there's a lot of typing going on here. I'm going to take a quick peek here and see. Okay. I do thank everybody that's participated. We're up to 168 people, and I know that's fluctuated a little bit. And like I said, if you choose to watch it more than once, there's going to be way more than that, that end up being participants in this endeavor. But we humans deserve to have a chance to cast our votes and have election integrity such that those votes count where we wanted them to count. Just as we deserve when we participate in a meditation to have the energy we project and donate to go to the recipient, the source, the focus that we intended it to, and not to be hijacked. So we're talking about what can never be argued about, being deserved, and should be our right to expect. And we are moving into a plane of existence, into a time and a place and an era where we will have that. But we're right here on the edge, sliding back and forth a little bit before we slide on into the new. And we're trying to donate our energy to have that slide happen seamlessly and beautifully and to get there. And I would like, before I leave this plane of existence in this particular package, I would like to be able to vote and know that my voting choice was honored and counted where I wanted it to go. And not just by Space Force, because they're monitoring it and use the information to confirm who's commander in chief and who constitutionally should be supported, but have it publicly be the results. We deserve that. Okay, I'm going to do a 10 countdown for ending the meditation. I'm doing that. First of all, I want to thank you for participating very, very much, and I hope you don't feel in any way depleted or that you wasted your time. I'm so glad you were here. I'm so glad you participated if you chose to. If you just set this one out till you see how they go, Now you've got a good idea, and maybe next month you'll come and participate. You're more than welcome to be part of it. Okay? But again, if people just want to watch with scientific dispatch or just curiosity, that's fine too. The only energy that we immediately dispatch is negative. So, okay, so as you finish up your comments and your requests here, I will remind you that this live stream is being recorded, which means it will be under the live tab for my channel forever, as long as the channel remains on YouTube or YouTube remains in existence. And you can, if you don't have time to finish your thought now before I stop the meditation, you can add it to the comments in the for the meditation, because those have there's no I've never found that there's any kind of limit to the number of comments that can be made on videos. Now, YouTube does have some restrictions on those. There's certain words that they will pounce on and remove your comment. There's if you try to share a link, they're not going to let you do that. But just stating a positive intention, a prayer need, that kind of thing, I don't see that they would have any trouble with that. And if it's a topic that you think there might be some AI interference with it, then use characters instead of numbers, and a dollar sign for an S, whatever it takes to convey your thought in a way that's going to be left up there. The only time that my moderators and I remove comments is when they are really made ugly and in a way that's very negative. You can disagree with us. You can very much disagree with us, and we will not, but you need to say, in my opinion, or I disagree, and then state why. Don't just attack those who have other opinions or views. But if you politely say, I disagree, and here's why, I've left all manner of comments up because we are allowed to have differing opinions. And as facts become known, we should be changing those opinions one way or the other. I've changed mine. There's things I'm leaving up there. So I don't know if I agree with that yet, but I think it's worth considering, and I'm glad they pointed it out. Okay, so I'm going to conclude this meditation. Again, thanking you and hoping you enjoy the rest of your day or evening, whatever time it was when you participated. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Love and light, everybody. Bye. Thank you.